Hello everyone, welcome to Shapeshift 1.0 Workout A. It's a little bit of a step up from 0.5. It is for those who already have been engaging in a workout program. They just need a little bit of a change for their body. And today, during Workout A, we are going to be using a bench or a stability ball, whatever you have on hand at home. We have a kettlebell here, as well as some dumbbells, and a medicine ball, and some ankle weights, which are optional. Okay, this is a full body workout. We're working chest, we're working back, we're working our glutes, we're doing some full leg, and we're gonna be doing 2 core. Okay, getting ready for our warm up. We're gonna take a wide stance. We're gonna be going into some cross taps. Goes just like this. A little bit of a down and up movement to warm up the knees. Arms go across the body and back to your waist. Getting the heart rate up, warming up the upper body. A little bit of a twist to the core. Some ankle moves here. Warming up all the joints. Doing this for 30 seconds. And then we're gonna be going into some high knees. 3, 2, 1. Take a side and go knee to elbow. 30 seconds per side. Make sure your body's tilted slightly towards the floor. 30 seconds per side. Got our hip flexors working, our glutes, our quads. Getting ready to switch sides. 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides, go ahead. Any body weight movement will work for a warm-up. So we just chose some simple moves for everybody. Make it easy to follow. If you're at home working out, you don't have a lot of equipment. A few seconds left on this side. And 3, 2, 1. We're gonna take it wide. Going into toe touches. Keep that wide stance. Warming up the hamstrings, warming up the lower back. Crossing across the body. Touching the opposite foot. Could be toe, could be ankle. Maybe it's a shin, based on your range of motion. And then we're going to be taking it into a wide lateral lunge to stretch the adductor muscles. Last rep here. Take it wide, side and up, side and up. Go as wide as you can for the lateral lunge, side to side. Warming up and stretching out our adductor muscles. Try to keep a nice high posture as well when you go down. Keeping that chest nice and high. A few seconds left here, and then we're going to be going straight into our circuit. Side to side. Going deeper each time. Getting a good stretch. And 3, 2, and 1. The first movement we'll be doing in our circuit, single arm row. And I'm gonna grab a kettlebell. I'm placing myself on a bench. We're doing 30 seconds per side. Making sure our hand is under our shoulder, knee is under our hips, back is nice and straight. We're gonna be starting our row in 3, 2, and 1, and go ahead. 30 seconds of a single arm row. Keep the shoulders nice and level. Making sure that knee is tucked under the hip. Keeping the back nice and straight. Up into the row, back down. Few seconds left before we switch sides. You can use any weight you have for this at home. And switching sides. Go to the other side of the bench, move the weight, hand under the shoulder, knee under the hip, and ready, go ahead, go right into the next move. 30 seconds per side. You can use a dumbbell for this. You can use a kettlebell. If you don't have a lot of equipment at home, you can get creative. You can use a big water jug if you like, some stretchy bands, making sure that my neck is nice and straight. My head is always in neutral spine. Just looking over at the clock, making sure that we don't go over time. So we have to go into our next move. Last rep right here. I'm dropping the kettlebell down. I'm going to be going into some hip extensions. I'm going to throw on some ankle weights. So those are optional. We're going to be doing this move for a full 60 seconds. Putting these ankle weights on. Making my way down to the floor, onto my elbows. And we're going 60 seconds in hip extension. Go ahead. We're really just straightening our leg out, bringing it up, getting some glute activation to build and tone the glutes, strengthen the hips, keeping my head in neutral spine, which means that my neck is level with my back. I'm not bending down. I'm not lifting my head up. I'm keeping my back all the way from the base of my skull down, nice and straight, or as straight as I can actually get it. So we're doing this for a full 60 seconds, 20 seconds left, alternating legs. If you're using ankle weights or any kind of resistance, your reps might be slower. If you're doing body weight, feel free to go as fast as you like. Few seconds left, and then we're going to be going into some chest press. Last rep here. Great, I'm bringing myself back up. Using my bench, I have some dumbbells. We're going into a chest press for 60 seconds, lifting the weights up by my hips, rolling back onto the bench, making sure I can rest my head. Everything's nice and even, opening the weights at the chest, and getting ready for 60 seconds of chest press. And go ahead, lifting above the shoulders and back down, beside the chest, going up and all the way down. We're gonna find a nice steady pace for the reps. We're gonna try and use challenging weights. It might take a couple of rounds to make sure you're using the right weights. If they're too easy at the end of the 60 seconds, that means you need heavier weights. If you can't get through to the full 60 seconds, you can drop your weights and go a little bit lighter until you can get to all 3 sets, and then you'll be ready to up the weights. Straight above the chest, all the way back down for the stretch. Make sure you're doing full reps. Never cut the reps in half to about here. Make sure you go all the way down and all the way up. Get full range. Almost done. From here, we're going to be going into some squats. Last rep. Up, down. We're going to fold the weights in, bring them to the hips, using our core to come all the way up. I'm going to be doing the first round of squats from the chair. You may also use your workout bench. Now, if you still have some work to do on your squat form, I would recommend still completing the squats from the bench. We're going to be going into 60 seconds of squats. And go ahead for reps. What this does, as I explained in 0.5, make sure you're training the proper squat form. Legs have to be at 90 degrees. Knees have to be over your ankle area. Make sure you keep your chest nice and high. And we're focusing on glute activation all the way down to the bench and all the way up. When you come down nice and controlled, try not to drop and flop. Try to make sure that the speed of the rep going up is about as even as the one coming down. Nice and controlled moves. Sticking our butt out for the squat. It's really important to understand squat form and how you can build the proper form if you're not quite there yet. Last rep here, and great. So now we're going to be going into some Russian twists. You can use any kind of weight. If you don't have a medicine ball, that's okay. You can use any kind of weight that you have. The idea here is that we're leaning back, activating the core, keeping our back nice and straight. We're going to be doing 60 seconds of Russian twists. And ready. And go ahead, side to side, back and forth. Getting a nice stretch through the core, working our obliques as we twist. Side to side, breaking up the tightness around the back. Doing this for 60 seconds. My heels are to the floor. My knees are pretty close together. There's a little bit of movement happening in each leg. Side to side. 30 seconds left. Almost there. Breathing in and out, making sure that your breathing is nice and consistent, just like your reps. Breathing in and out. Almost at the end, we're going to be going into a plank. 3, 2, and 1. Choose your plank, whether it's hand or elbow. 60 seconds, we're just going to go right into the plank. Choose your hold and go ahead. Make sure the hips are level with the shoulders. Holding this for 60 seconds. If you do feel like the form is failing, I recommend to drop, stretch, and reset. Never ever push through an exercise where you're training improper form, or whether you're feeling some strain in any muscles. Always reset, find another exercise to do. Maybe it might take strengthening surrounding muscles individually before you can get them to work together. But anything for core holds, just make sure if you have to stop and take a break, drop your knees, do a bit of a stretch, get up and reset until you can complete the 60 seconds. We have a few seconds left. Keep breathing as well. Inhale, exhale. Keep the oxygen flowing to your muscles. And 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. That was set 1 of workout A. Don't forget to take a sip of water to stay hydrated during your workout. And we're going into set 2. So back to our single arm rows. A few seconds of a break for a drink to reset into the next exercise. Getting ready, hand under the shoulders, knee under the hips. Getting ready, and go ahead. 30 seconds per side. Pick a weight where you're able to maintain the 30 seconds while keeping your back straight. No strain anywhere. Make sure you breathe out on the effort and breathe in on the return. The effort here is the pull as we're doing a row. We're going to be breathing out during the row and in on the return. So keeping that breathing rhythm going. One more rep here to complete the 30 seconds. And we're going to be switching sides. Going on to the other side of the bench. As soon as we're in position, going right into it. 30 seconds. There might be a 15-second gap while you transition from side to side. And don't forget that breathing rhythm. Keep that back nice and straight. Few seconds left. Just keeping my eye on the clock for everybody. Last rep right here. Great. Down to the mat, hip extensions. Wait a few seconds, give you a chance to breathe. Getting ready for 60 seconds of hip extensions, and go ahead. Alternating legs, kicking out behind you, back down into the floor and switching legs. This exercise is fantastic for toning the glutes, strengthening the glutes, which you'll find will help every other move that you're doing, like your squats, like your lunges. Sometimes we tend to have underactive glutes. So in the Shape Shift program, we focus a lot on glute work most days. 15 seconds left, almost there. After this, we're going into our chest press. We work back, we work glutes, working chest, then we're doing full legs. Last rep here. Great, coming on up, back to the bench, back to the dumbbells, or if you have a barbell at home, whatever you have on hand, bringing the weights up, rolling back down onto the bench, getting ready for 60 seconds of chest press. And ready. Getting ready to inhale that first push up, and go ahead. We talked about our breathing rhythm. We're breathing out on the effort. For the chest press, the effort is the push up and back down. So we go up, we breathe out, breathe in as we return. If you have heavier weights, your reps will be a little bit slower. It's going to be a little bit more challenging for your muscles. If you're using lighter weights, you can go quicker and do faster reps. So you hit that muscle fatigue a lot sooner. So it's knowing how to use your light weights if that's all you have at home. But it's great to get a goal of increasing your weights, buying something new every month for yourself so you can progress with your goals. Almost there. Last rep, up, back down. Hold the weights in by the chest. Weights go to the hip. Come on up. Weights go to the floor. For those of you that still need to do the bench squat, go ahead. I'm going to be switching to air squat. We're going 60 seconds. Nice wide stance. And go ahead down and up. So why might you still need a bench to work on your squat form? It might be because instead of going back into your squat, you might be going forward too much into the squat, which means you have underactive glute muscles, underactive hamstrings, and possibly other muscles going down the leg. To keep it simple for you, those muscles need to be worked. So working from a chair or a bench, keeping the legs at 90 degrees, and adding weight as much as possible is best for building up the proper squat form so that eventually you're able to step away from the bench and hold this position in midair. That should be the goal for squat form. Once you can hit that body weight pose about right here, it means you're ready to start doing air squats. A few seconds left for squats. Last rep, coming up. Now we have our 2 core moves. We're almost done set 2. We only have one more set left after this. These workouts go pretty quick. As soon as you're into position, go ahead right into the Russian twist. You can do body weight for these as well. Based on your own range of motion and fitness level, make the choice that's best for you. It's always best to train safely. Side to side. Keeping the chest high, the back nice and straight. Try not to crouch with this pose. Try and pull the lower back up and keep it into place the entire time. If you have a little bit of a weaker lower back, you might do lighter weights until your core and your back catch up so they can start working together to cause less strain during the movement. Almost there, a few seconds left. Speed it up if you like. Slow it down with heavier weight. And 3, 2, 1, going into the plank. Flipping over, doing a new hand plank or elbow plank. Here we are, we're hitting the floor, going right into plank. 60 seconds. And keep an eye on that form. Make sure your head is a neutral spine. So we can't have our head cranked up. We don't want it hanging down here. We do want to make sure that our neck is as level with our back as possible. And for this one, keep breathing in and out. Inhale, exhale. Sometimes with core holds, we have the tendency to hold our breath because we think, well, we're holding our body. So we indirectly hold our breath, we don't realize it. Keep breathing in and out. Keep those muscles working. They need oxygen. I'm looking over here just to make sure I keep my eye on the clock. We're almost there. Few seconds left. Breathing in and out. And 3, 2, and 1. Drop it, a little bit of a stretch before we go into our last set. Shape shift workouts, quick and easy. Easy to fit into a busy lifestyle. A lot of women are busy. A lot of women have jobs, they have family and kids to look after. I'm gonna take a little sip of water as well. Just my cue for you to make sure you're hydrating at home. Okay, we're about to go into set 3. It's our final set of the workout. Just seeing where we're at with the clock. Great, getting ready here, into position. Hands under the shoulders, knee under the hip. Back is flat and go ahead. Heavier weight, slower reps. Lighter weight, faster reps. Depends on your individual goals. Sometimes we're women trying to get stronger. Sometimes we're women just trying to move. We just want to use light weights. We just want to keep the body moving. Really just depends on your own individual goals. One last rep, and switching sides. Carefully switch over. Okay, back into position. As soon as you get into position, go ahead. For those 30 seconds, usually it's about a 10 or 15 second interval of rest while you transition. And just check the form. Always check the form, make sure everything feels right. Wiggle around a little bit. Breathing out on the pull. Breathing in on the return. Keep the back nice and straight. Last rep right here. Fantastic. Down to the floor. Our hip extensions. If you're doing body weight, you might be doing quicker reps. I have ankle weights on. I'm using a bit of resistance. And going into 60 seconds of hip extensions. Go ahead, kicking that leg back. Every other leg. Every other side. Alternating. Make sure we're looking at the floor. Keeping our head a neutral spine, or our neck a neutral spine. There's two different ways to say it, but they both mean the same thing. Feeling the glute muscles activate as we bring our leg up and back. Keeping my eye on the clock. We're almost there. Keep breathing, keep going, go at your own pace. Do whatever you can. And 3, 2, and 1. Great, we're coming on up. Moving into our chest press, so we're moving back to the bench. sitting on the edge of the bench, picking up our weights, bringing it back, we're secured on the bench, opening up the weights, just checking the clock, getting ready to start our 60 seconds of chest press. And go ahead, pushing up and all the way back down. Again, just a reminder, try not to get into the habit of doing half reps. Make sure you go down all the way. Work on that range of motion across the chest. If you have tight shoulders, you're gonna wanna make sure you open up the chest first, using lighter weight before you add heavier. There's a lot of mobility that might need to take place before you're able to go heavier with your weights. Breathing out on the push, breathing out on the return, going at your own pace. Based on your weight, you'll be doing different speeds of reps. Check in on the clock. Good, we're almost there. Last rep, push it up, bring it back down, close it in to the hips, use that core, come on up, weights to the floor. Now going into our squats. Again, use the bench if needed. If you're ready to move away from the bench, give it a shot. Going into our squats. 60 seconds and go ahead. Nice and slow, full range. Again, try to make sure that you're breaking up the tight muscles. If you're only doing half squats, your results won't be as good as if you break up those tight quads and work on going deeper with your moves. The deeper you go, the better your results. Keeping the chest nice and high, going back into the squat, not down, as if there's an invisible bench behind you. Activate the core, activate the glutes. Find those muscles. Those muscles are going to be holding this form together. Almost there. Few seconds left. Last rep right here. Good, we have 2 core moves left. Hitting the floor, Russian twist. Getting into position. Getting ready, 60 seconds of Russian twist. Go ahead, side to side. Breathing in and out with every other move. If you're going slow, and it might look like every 2 moves if you're doing quicker reps. Looking side to side is when you look, that's what causes your torso to twist. Looking side to side, keeping the back nice and straight. Try not to roll the shoulders, try not to roll the back. If you're doing this, again, you might need to do body weight and work on securing that form before you add heavier weights to this move. Almost there. Few seconds left. Just do what you can. Last one here, and we're going into plank. This is our last one. Choose your plank, whether it's hand or elbow. Getting into position. And go ahead, 60 seconds. Last one. If you're working out at home and you're getting through all 3 sets, for 60 seconds, you're doing amazing. If you're still working at it, take breaks as needed, you'll get there. This stuff all takes time. It's not an overnight solution. Building muscle takes time. It takes not only workouts, but recovery in between. Recovery, hitting nutrition targets, making sure you're getting enough protein to build your results. Almost there. Keep breathing. Inhale, exhale. If you have to stop, drop your knees, take a rest, and reset. We're almost there. I can feel it. Few more seconds. Usually you know, but it's almost a minute. And drop. All right, we're going into child's pose. Holding on to the stretch here for a few seconds. Inhale, exhale. And from here, we're gonna come on up into cat and cow. We're on all fours. So we're going into our cool down routine. Up into cat, down into cow. This is great for creating more movement in the hips, lower back, and stretching out the upper back and the shoulders. And of course, we're gonna inhale and exhale. We're gonna inhale on the cat, exhale on the cow. Let's go at your own pace. A little bit of cool down movement, making sure the heart rate drops gradually. From here, we're going into downward dog. Up, onto our toes, pushing back slightly on our hands, feeling the stretches along the back of the legs. If you're tight here, this is a great stretch to focus on. If your goal is to loosen up the hamstrings, behind the knees, these areas can become very, very tight based on what we do or don't do each day. So as you find the areas of the body that are tight, it's good to focus on those for stretching. Bringing it down, we're just going to go back into child's pose again. Moving forward, we're going to get our head to the floor this time. A few seconds, inhale, exhale. Coming up into kneeling lunge. Bring our legs forward. Just taking these off here. Another time. Getting a really deep stretch here in the hip flexors. Watch this front knee. If you find your knee is passing your foot, step out a bit further. Always make sure that your knee is over your ankle area during stretching. Switching sides, switching legs. Same thing on the other side. The front leg, we're going to feel our glutes. The back leg, we're feeling our hip flexors. And maybe our quads if they're tight. Deep stretch in the legs. Inhale, exhale. A few seconds left for this stretch. And bringing it up. Taking the hands behind the back. Go side view here. Pulling back and hold to open up the chest. Inhale and exhale. And we're good here. Great job. You've just completed workout A, Shape Shift 1.0 series. See you in the next workout.